Hey y'all, I'm going to make an eclair cake today, and a lady at church used to make that every time we'd have some sort of meal, and I absolutely loved it, and she shared her recipe with me, and I'm going to make it except for just a couple little things just like she did. It's absolutely wonderful, and anyway, let's just get started. I'm going to aim you toward the bowl. And this is the Jello sugar-free. I'm using sugar-free because my husband has diabetes, and I'm trying to make this as close to what he can eat as possible so that he can have some. So anyway, put the 2 containers of instant pudding in your bowl. And then for each box of the 6.5 cup servings, it's 1.5, you use 3 cups of milk. And I'm doubling this recipe, so just cut it in half if you want to. But if you double it, you'll probably be glad. And I'm going to pour just a little more milk. I'll show you in a few minutes what we need that for. So then just take your spoon or whatever you're going to use and mix this up and beat it until it becomes thick. And usually that doesn't take too long. And as it sits in the refrigerator, it will thicken up too. So, the lady that would make this at the end of the meal, she would send what was left home with our family, which I thought was very sweet. And you can use different flavors of pudding. Maybe make it like this first and then see what you think. I know some people have used the cheesecake pudding and like that. I didn't even know that they made a cheesecake pudding until recently. So since I haven't had it, I don't know how good it might be. I'll have to get some and see. So this is thickening up, and like I said, it'll thicken up more as it sits in the refrigerator. And this is supposed to sit about 24 hours to make the cookies in this get soft, but I'm going to show you in a minute how you can reduce that time. So I believe this is probably enough beating. It still looks a little thin, but like I say, it's going to thicken up. And to that, I'm going to add an 8-ounce container of sugar-free Cool Whip. And you don't have to use the sugar-free stuff. You can use the regular if you want. And you could even use 2 containers of this if you like the Cool Whip flavor a lot, which I do. But just kind of fold this in. I get anxious and want it to get mixed, so I'm not a real good folder. But this looks about right. So now what we're going to do is set this to the side. And I believe I better go ahead and make the ganache because the milk is getting heated up now. But what I'm doing for the top is making a ganache. Some people will buy a can of chocolate icing and stick it in the microwave for about a minute or maybe a little less, and it melts and they just pour it over it. But I don't think that flavor is very good with this. So I got the 12-ounce bag of chocolate chips, and to it I'm going to add this 1 pint heavy cream. And all you do is pour your cream over your chocolate chips and stir it up real good, and it makes a wonderful ganache, which will be our icing. Let's set that over here. So just stir that up. And as your ganache sits on the dessert, it will thicken up too. So if you feel like it's a little thin, just know it's going to thicken up. And ganache is wonderful. I'm sorry, I had a phone call. As I was saying, the ganache is really good, and has a wonderful flavor, and it gets kind of thick, and with the heavy cream and the chocolate and all, it's just a really good icing that you can use on a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and now we'll start with this, putting it together. So as I was telling you, I'm going to hurry the process up a little bit of the cookies getting soft. And I'm going to put a little milk in the bottom, not a whole lot, just a little milk for our graham crackers to sit on, and that will start softening them up. And so just line that cookie broke. Just line your pan with the cookies, your baking dish, whatever you're going to use. So there that is. And then put just a little bit more milk. You don't want your cookies to get all mushy, but just a little bit more milk. Now take half of your pudding mix and put it on there. That's about half. And just spread it out. Now, take your cookies again, make your second layer. And I'm just not going to break that in half. I'll just put it like that. Add just a little bit more milk. And put your next layer of pudding. And I didn't scrape the bowl real good because I think I'll eat it. And spread your second layer over. Now you want to put one more layer of cookies. Gotta open up one more bag. I should have had these already opened. I opened everything else but these. Okay. So I'm going to push that over a little bit. I think I could get a little more cookie over here on this edge. Anyway, that looks good. And now I'm going to put just a little bit more milk. And then I'm going to put our ganache. And it's already starting to thicken just a little bit. But it's going to have a nice thick layer of ganache on it. If you think this is too much, you could make half the recipe. So that is it. And when I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and later this evening I will get it out and we'll cut it and taste it and see what you think. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you back shortly. Hey y'all, the dessert's ready, and so we're going to go ahead and give it a try, but I'm going to show it to you first. And my aluminum foil kind of stuck right there to it. And if you see this little spot, that is where I could not wait till I did the taste test, and I had to get a little taste of it. So as you can see, the ganache hardened up, and from my bite that I had earlier, it is so good. In the first piece, I always say the first piece is so hard to get out. Well, you can't see that well, but there's what it looks like. I'm not sure how well you can see, but the ganache, if you don't like the little bit of a bitter taste that dark chocolate has, then get the milk chocolate, but it's really a wonderful frosting for it, or topping. So I'm going to get a bite, and there's some ganache under that. It is incredibly good. So give this a try if you'd like, and I hope you enjoy it. And putting the milk on the crackers like I did, this was ready in a couple hours instead of overnight. You can see my little girl right there waving, and she knows she's not supposed to. So anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.